What quarter? Let me ask you something. Did you hear what you just told me?
Let me find him. I've got a big pile of stuff over here.
Yeah, he's not here, man. It ain't what we need.
Welcome back to South Haven, Mississippi, everybody. Tonight, the home team Memphis Force continues their hard luck in this inaugural season, the World Series of Boxing, because they have no chance of winning the team competition tonight, but we've got 2 fights to go. Let's see what they can do with the individual competition. Remember, this is a global competition. Let's show you what's going on in the Asian Conference. The Baku Fires have led all along this year. They're almost dominating that conference like the LA Matadors are dominating the Americas Conference with 18 points. Now, in the European Conference, what an interesting thing we've had all year. Finally, Paris United has pulled out in front by 3 points, gets 3 points. They've been going at it with Dolce & Gabbana out of Spain, the Milano Thunder, all year. But you see there's been a battle between Paris and Dolce & Gabbana. But we're getting ready for the light heavyweights coming up. Let's get you up to our ring announcer, Chuck Roberts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the World Series of Boxing bout number 4. Please welcome from the Mexico City Guerreros, Kennedy Katende.
I'm looking forward to seeing Kennedy Katende fight tonight. We got a chance to meet him before the fight for the first time. And he's an interesting guy, born in Uganda, reminding us that Uganda used to be an English colony, so they speak not only the native language of Uganda, but English also. But he lives in Sweden, 25 years old, 10 years of experience. He's a Beijing Olympian, so we'll see what he's got tonight.
Really undaunted. He's coming into this fight, and normally at his time, it's about 4 a.m. in the morning, so he doesn't care. He says, I don't care. I'll get in there and fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from your Memphis Force, please welcome Imre Szello.
Imre Szello is a fighter right out of Central Casting. How do they say in Hollywood, you know, if you had to pick a fighter that looks like a fighter, he's an Eastern European prototype who, after fighting his first bout in the World Series of Boxing, went back to Hungary, even though he was cut, went back to Hungary and won his 10th Hungarian National Championship. Tough guy, wants to go to the London Games, got one daughter, under 2 years old, and this is a guy I think that may turn it around for Memphis tonight. Imre Szello. This kid is tough. November 26th in Miami, he won a unanimous decision against a really good fighter from New Mexico, Sergio Shabazz, and he dominated Sergio in that fight. Shabazz has since come back to win, but Szello is a world-class light heavyweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Desoto Civic Center in South Haven, Mississippi, bout number 4 of the evening, a 5-round battle in the light heavyweight division. Representing the Mexico City Guerreros, fighting out of his hometown of Sundsvall, Sweden, ladies and gentlemen, Kennedy Katende. Representing the Memphis Force, fighting out of his hometown of Cegléd, Hungary, please welcome a 2008 member of the Hungarian Olympic team and national champion, Imre Szello.
And here's how they stack up in the head-to-head, and as you can see, the weights,
Szello
physically bigger as a fighter, too. He could have a huge advantage in that, and he's that kind of fighter, too. He's an aggressive style. He roughs up his opponent. He uses elbows, his hands. He pushes, pulls, and he punches.
No holding. The head up. Fair play. Good luck.
Fair play.
Roberto Savini, a worldwide well-known referee, will be working this light heavyweight fight. He might have his hands full. We have not seen Kennedy Katende fight. I asked him how he got the first name Kennedy. He says, I'm Catholic. So it doesn't make as much sense as anything else. Kennedy Katende.
How'd he get his last name? How'd he get his last name? Contende. He's a contender.
There you
he
go.
could have been a contende.
I was going to come
That's
up
what
with
they
that
say.
eventually. First round scheduled for 5, light heavyweight division. Contende is in the Mexico City colors. And Szello, I'll tell you what, like I said, Szello, he will work you to death.
Oh,
this guy's a tough customer.
He's a pro, and he's just nasty in there. I mean, he fights rough. He's hard. You're going to be in a fight when you face him. You face off with him, you're going to get.
Oh, left hand right there.
Right there.
Boom.
And the mouthpiece comes out. That's a teeth guard. All these boxers have teeth guard where they have a mouthpiece in.
Well, that tells you about the punch, doesn't it?
I think his teeth are in it, though. What a shot.
That was a heck of a shot. Just a straight left jab that just boom.
Well, you know,
what's this? What's
crack
this?
it out there. Crack.
That's
counter,
it. That's
counter
it.
right over his cross. You know, every fighter is going to have an opening there because no matter how fast you are, there's an opening when you reach for a punch. You commit yourself.
Kennedy's a left-hander. I thought he came out right-handed. Maybe he changed his mind.
Maybe that mouthpiece. If his mouthpiece on the top, he's right-handed. It's on the bottom, it's left-handed.
This is a guy, though, not to belittle what he's done. He's fought all over. Katende, Europe, Eastern Europe, Scandinavia. He was an Olympian for Sweden, 2008. Uh-oh, look at Imre. He's just sharp. He's nasty.
Oh, you know, he's also fought himself into condition. That's one thing.
He looks a lot better this fight. You're right.
We've seen these kids on this tournament, and they get better. They improve. They watch the fights. They see the other fighters. They learn. They learn from the other kids in this tournament. Look at these foot feints from him. We didn't see that before from Imre. You know, he's just hard-nosed.
Szello's the one. Imre Szello in the purple trunks. What I liked about his demeanor before the fight, he's back in the locker room. He's reading a novel. He's another day at the office. Got some reading to do, and now we'll go out and try to kick somebody's rear end and see what happens. Kennedy, Katende.
The book was How to Box, though.
Oh, it was How to Box.
And he went in pretty well.
Final minute of round number one. We're in the light heavyweight division. Memphis has already closed out the team competition tonight, but here we go. I tell you what, Kennedy Katende's decided to open it up a little bit. That might not be a very smart decision, but he hasn't scored yet in this first round because, you know, Zello's the type of guy that you try to get in there, you're going to pay a big price.
Well, you actually have two fighters that are counterpunchers. They're both European style.
Yes.
They both fight from Europe, and they are notorious for being counterpunchers. They counter whatever offense you have. So they're both kind of figuring out their battle plans at this point.
Well, let's just think about this. Kennedy Katende came to Mexico City on Monday from Sweden, turns around and goes to Memphis on Tuesday. They got here Tuesday. And so here he is. How many time zones away? I can't even count them.
Well, it is definitely the other side of the world where he comes from. So he's normally sleeping at this hour. Trying to put Imre asleep now.
Final 10 seconds of round number one in the light heavyweight division.
Kind of a look. They took a look at one another in that first round, coming out trying to see what the other had to offer. There's a look at Kennedy Katende. Anthony Bradley here.
Because he's throwing the wide shots. You can roll under, okay? Counter him, all right?
Imre Szello speaks no English, but he understands.
Body shot. Body shot.
He understands wholeheartedly what Anthony Bradley is saying.
Absolutely.
Calling for the 1-2. The 1-2 is the jab and the cross. Here goes the mouthpiece. Mouthpiece comes out with that jab. And not as much pressure in that first round from Imre, but I'll tell you something. Szello has learned in this tournament. Don't spend all your money in that first round.
Round two scheduled for fight light heavyweight division, and Katende offering up a prayer. He might need one if he exposes himself against Imre Szello. You talk about the classic. Look at the stance that Zello's got. He's able to move in and out. Eastern European fighters very much influenced in the last 10 years by the Klitschko brothers, who really brought the Ukrainians and Eastern Europeans to the forefront of boxing. Now, Katende's going to try to use his speed a little bit more, I sense here.
He needs to. He was very slow in that opening, but for many reasons.
Well, he wouldn't be here if he wasn't a good fighter and a tough customer. That is for sure. To come all the way across the world to fight here in Memphis tonight via Mexico City says a lot about his credentials. Szello knows that. He respects that. And he'll be patient. 10-time Hungarian champion, Imre Szello. Yeah.
He's won a championship since we first saw him.
Right.
Right. So
he was the
He was the 9-time world champion, Hungarian champion. Now he's the 10-time Hungarian champion.
Doing double duty, fighting back in his home country. But those shots that Katende's throwing, Sean, are wide open. Coming over that left hand over the top like that. I mean, what could happen in case that doesn't work?
Well, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. He's going to the outside, is Katende, and he's staying on the outside. You know, the shorter fighter in this match, and he's more of the boxer, but that's his style.
Half of round number 2 has evaporated. Lead right hand from Szello.
Good cross, right on the button.
Szello's looking to close off this circling action as best he can. And that wears you out too, doesn't it, Sean? Trying to stalk a guy.
It does, but you have to slide over and cut off the ring. You got to make the ring shorter. Cut it off in half and then divide it in quarters. And you stop your opponent from doing that, making him fight too. You got to get him. You got to put some pressure on your opponent. Get him out of there. Oh, good cross. He's landed that right hand really well. Imre has in this second round. There it is again.
There's that lead right. It was the left hand that knocked the mouthpiece out in the first round, but that right hand, Szello found a home for it.
Good right from Imre.
That's the first
Kennedy.
one. Yeah, it's the first one that Kennedy's been able to land.
Well, Kennedy has some good skills as well.
Well, he's certainly not. He's certainly a confident fighter. From talking with him earlier. A lot of fun talking to these young fighters. So excited to be here in the World Series of Boxing and the opportunity it provides. There's a right hand to Szello right there.
Huge right hand.
How about that?
I have not seen Szello staggered. He's not been stunned in this tournament, I don't believe.
He just got cut in that fight that he had down in Miami against Siju Shabazz. You like Shabazz too, so.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? All these guys are pretty good. No.
Round 2, pretty even round, Sean. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Your chin is up there. You can't pull back like that. You step around, and you understand me, Imre?
That's why he's getting hit with that right cross. He's pulling back with his head up. See what he's doing, what Coach Bradley is talking about? You drop your hands and pull back like he does. That's a dangerous thing to do. Okay? You're taught to throw your hands up. You got to go down low when you retreat.
Right here, exactly.
Right there. Don't throw your head up when you back up.
Well, let's hear from Coach Anthony Bradley. You heard a little bit from him there as he talks about his Hungarian champion, Imre Szello.
Imre Szello, I suspect to win out of him. I'm very high on him because of his work habits in the gym, his conditioning, and I say conditioning, I don't mean just how he look, but you got to eat, sleep, and live boxing. Even when he runs, he works hard, and he eats right, and he brings a lot, to the team members. I mean, he talks with the guys, and he's a team player, and you'll see what I'm looking for next year in Imre.
Round number 3, light heavyweight division. Imre Szello fighting for Memphis in the purple trunks, and in the green trunks, colors of Mexico, is Kennedy Katende. And it might be even so far. Katende he's coming out more effectiveness each round.
He opened up a little bit in the last round. He had some combinations, and Imre can't go to sleep in this fight.
No, certainly can't. Slip right there. That happens sometimes. You get
that happened to me a lot.
After you were hit.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for I dropped my keychain. I was just looking for my keys.
That's what Joey said.
Looking for my mouthpiece.
Katende really using that circling action.
Yeah. And I like this jab. The southpaw, jabbing southpaw is difficult to face. You see that left-handed stance. Now he's turning to the right-handed stances. Kennedy.
We have one in attendance tonight, Michael Moore, who was a first left-handed heavyweight champion who worked that jab and got that title.
Fantastic heavyweight. It was great. From Memphis, Pennsylvania. Fought out of Detroit for the Conch for a while. Oh, good cross from both fighters.
That was good work there from Imre right there.
Imre came in with his, and then Kennedy came back.
That's turned into an interesting fight, Sean. Neither one taking charge now. We're in the third round, halfway through. That left-right right there, that's what Szello needs to do. He just got caught with a right. Katende, using his footwork, in and out, styles make fights, right, Sean? We got a left-hander and a right-hander. The left-hander's the mover and likes to fight from the outside. And Szello, the European Classic fighter, just got caught with a little bit of a left hand right there. This, to me, would be a big upset if Szello doesn't do this here in Memphis tonight.
Absolutely. You know, and look at the contrast in the tempo of this fight since that opening round. Look at how the intensity has increased.
Oh, right hand from Szello. And a counter back from Katende, who didn't land quite as hard. Zello's picking up the pressure a little bit here. Yeah, he's not going to get frustrated, but he's saying, you know, I got to take charge in this thing. Imre Szello in the purple trunks, Hungarian champion, 10 times, 34 seconds left, round number 3. Now Katende, he'll get in there and fight with you too. You
know, Katende finally got loosened and warmed up, and he's cracking. There's a cross from him. He's landed that cross several times tonight. And look at how Imre carries that left hand low.
Too low. Carries it too low. That's where he's been vulnerable. And that big right hand, as Katende has seen it all night. Here's a guy, like I said, that's fought all over Eastern Europe.
Look at that, pulling back. That's what Bradley was telling him not to do, Imre to do. Pull back with your head up and your hands down, you get clocked. Well, a good round, tough round to score. You know, early in the round, it looked as though it was Imre trying with more pressure, trying to force the action more. But toward the end of the round, Kennedy came on strong. Katende landed some pretty good right crosses. Francisco Bonilla.
Now Bonilla wants him to quit moving so much and start throwing punches. You hear that? Well, in my limited Spanish. I think Francisco Bonilla knows that Katende can out-quick him if he will stand there and fight a little bit more and get some more points.
Well, the most dangerous thing that Imre does is this right here. He backs up with his hands down.
Yep.
Hands up when you back up, when you're back in the ring, and get down low. He sticks his head right up straight in the air, and then he gets cracked.
Round 4 scheduled for fight, light heavyweight division. The Guerreros have already won the team competition tonight, taking the first 3 fights won by forfeit. So they've got 2 fights to save some face, and Zello's run into some problems with the style he faces tonight from Kennedy Katende out of Sweden. Now, I was listening, a good observation from Francisco Bonilla, being a Mexican trainer, saying, you know what, the movement, I want you to move so much. Come straight in and get some points, because he's not sure his fighter's going to fight.
Nice.
So he thinks that Katende has the quickness, but he just got caught with a little uppercut on the inside. But I don't know. What do you think about what Bonilla was telling his fighter, Sean?
I think that's right. I think he's telling him the right thing. I think this fight is still up for grabs.
I do too.
But it seems as though Imre is a little bit frustrated because he's been smacked a few times. He hadn't been hurt, I don't think, but like that right there. He just gets caught with what we call sucker punches. Punches you get hit with your hands down, or you're not paying attention, you're not focused, you're not, you're backing up with your head up.
We've got a cut, Sean, under the eye of Szello, and there's some hard shots. Szello just got caught. Here's the guy, remember, he just on the break there, you got to get punched right in there, but the left-hander and right-hander headbutt, the cut has opened up under the eye of Szello right here in round number 4, because Katende came out there and put some pressure on. Katende has earned the respect of everybody in this building tonight. Now they're going to stop and take a look.
That's around the right orbital of that right eye of Imre.
Roberto Cerviti, tell him to stay in the neutral corner over here while the doctor comes in to look at Szello. And they would be going to the cards if this thing was stopped, but I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. I think what the doctor is looking at is where the blood is going. The blood is not into the eye, inhibiting the vision. Many times you don't know that you're cut. The only way you know is sometimes you can feel the trickling down, but it doesn't hurt. There's no pain to it until the next day.
More importantly, how does Szello react to it now?
Sure.
Does it give him a bigger sense of urgency? Because Katende's a tough customer. He's good.
It's better than I thought he would be in those first couple of rounds.
Body shot from Katende. Now the right hand.
And the Katende is the one coming from the other side of the world. He should be the one out of gas here, but it looks like, to me, Imre is the one that's huffing and puffing.
He looks a little winded, doesn't he? Minute 5 left, round number 4. Katende came out and completely changed his style. He listened to Francisco Bonilla in the corner. He's not circling the ring anymore. He just came forward because I think Bonilla, being one of the great coaches in the planet for boxing, said, I see something here. You need to take charge. No more of this walking around because you've got the quickness, and look at what he's been able to do. I mean, he's just become a guerrero, a warrior in there. Good right hand. Oh, that left hand, if that had landed, it'd be good night.
What a difference. Waiting for that opportunity, and Bonilla saw that. He saw the opportunity. That's why he had him come in. Now trying to take a breather for good reason is Kennedy. You know, he has been very busy this round. He was put on the pace. He stayed on the inside. He's landed good, clean, hard shots. He's worked the body well and the head well. And he has opened up the cuts. Oh, here's a good combination for Imre. And you know what? You're in the final seconds. You got to take the playback. You want to steal the round.
It looked like Imre almost turned around there for a few seconds to a left-handed style.
What a round. What a round. You remember back in that first round? Seems ages ago now.
All right, remember I was talking about November 26th in Miami, Shabazz and Szello. It was a close fight. We're going to take you back to Miami. And Szello got cut in that fight also, but Sean, you remember that Shabazz got dominated in this fight, and he's a different fighter now these days than we saw him back then.
Well, both of them are. Really, when you think about both of them are. Look at in this fight how Imre kept on the pressure. He landed well to the body and to the head. He was fresher in this fight. These kids are getting beat down too. This is a combine. This pace, this style, there's so much to learn and there's so much to work on in these fights. He gets the victory on that night, and he's hoping for the victory tonight. Imre Szello.
I'm not so sure he's going to get it.
I don't know. That's what a difficult round to score and to fight in.
Go to the fifth and final round from the Desoto Civic Center in Mississippi. The fighter from Memphis has got an uphill battle, in our opinion. He's been cut in this fight. Oh, good left hand there from Szello. I think he knows where he is in this fight. It is wide open. Anybody's guess who might win it. But I tell you what, I'm impressed with the speed and the power of Kennedy Katende tonight.
Very impressed, and look at this pressure from Kennedy.
Left hand and over the top. He's landed that several times. Wow, we're going to have a great fifth round here. Digging into the body, both fighters, head-to-head, toe-to-toe, center of the ring. Neither one's sure. There's a right hand that Katende just caught on the way in.
Imre has to know he needs this. You know, this is the fourth and fifth round are the toughest rounds in this tournament because they're normally 3 rounds.
Now we got blood under the eye of Katende. I don't know if that's off Szello or a new cut. I believe it's Katende now's got a cut from a punch.
And what a difficult task to fight through your own blood. Either fighter.
Oh, he got caught by left hand from Szello. Whoever takes this round might take the fight, and they know it. Digging down to the body, Katende.
Kennedy lands some too. There's a good right from Kennedy. He has found a home for the right hand.
Oh, there's a right hand from Szello.
Zello's left hand is low. With his left hand low, he gets tagged every time.
Let's see if the fatigue of traveling halfway across the globe is going to affect Katende in the final minute and a half of this fight. Been a good round so far, I think, for Szello. But, man, they've been toe-to-toe here at the center of the ring, giving the action we've come to expect here in the World Series of Boxing. They only got 5 rounds to get it done, so they might as well just take it all out in the middle of the ring.
I remember the last round, Alan, it was Szello who came on at the end. The first part of the round was Katende.
Minute 15 left in round number 5. Both fighters looking a little winded, but who wouldn't be? Yeah, they cram in 12 rounds of action into 5. And in a round, you can't take off any rounds. That's the great part about the format.
No time. You're in a barn burner in there.
Oh, good work.
Good shots.
Good shots.
Outside punches from Imre. And Kennedy comes back with his. A couple of tough rounds to score.
Very tough rounds.
But if you're Imre, you need it here. I think he needs to score well.
43 seconds left. And he needs to. Well, how much you got left? I can say what he needs to do. It's easier said than done. They're taking a few seconds here to wind up for the last half a minute of this great light heavyweight fight here from South Haven, Mississippi tonight.
And I tell you, Kennedy Melinda really impressed me. He's fast for a light heavyweight. He's quick. He moves well. He has good skills, and he's thinking in the ring too. Go back to the good
nice right hand from Katende. Yeah,
go back to that first and second round. He was trying to get Imre to punch himself out. Oh, another one.
Another right hand from Katende.
That right hand has been very effective for Katende tonight.
What a fight.
Good match.
Both fighters bloody. Both fighters. There's 2 warriors right there.
Heart, guts, determination. Imre cut. in that third round. And it may be a cut that's opened up before. Katende cut, we think in the fourth or
The
fifth.
city of South Haven.
He's going to sleep well tonight, this guy.
Skelton Hyundai.
Tell you what, look at him. This is a guy that got to Mexico City on Monday.
Welcome to the World Series of Boxing.
Wow, well, they're checking over the fight. I don't think it was a deep cut. It was on that one of those cheek type cuts.
We call this a gut check for these kids, huh? A
Take
gut
a look,
check.
Sean.
Determination. Look at this. Excellent. Excellent. Just, you know that the clock is ticking. You know you don't have much time. You've got to throw punches, land as many shots as you can. By that fifth round, don't worry about knocking out your opponent, even though they look like they might be trying to knock out one another. Just worry about piling up the points. Good combination. Underneath, over the top. Kennedy, Imre, Szello coming in with his, but I was impressed with this young man tonight. I don't know if he got the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this bout number 4 in the light heavyweight division of the World Series of Boxing, the scores: Judge Bonnet 47-48, Judge Lorado 46-49, Judge Lebe 47-48. The winner from the Mexico City Guerreros, Kennedy Katende.
I think that's about right. It was a close fight. Katende really turned it around after the first round. It was a great fight. Both fighters bloodied at the end, but welcome to the world stage in the World Series of Boxing, Kennedy Katende. You were quite gracious in the locker room beforehand, quite confident. We're going to get your reaction now. Imre Szello, this to me, I thought this was the best chance Memphis had tonight, was Imre Szello, who just came back from Hungary with his 10th Hungarian championship. But let's get to know Kennedy Katende a little bit more. I think you're going to like it. Sean, take it away.
Thanks, Alan. Kennedy, nice job tonight. Wow, that was fantastic. How did you have enough energy at the end to continue on this fight?
I just wanted to win so much, that's why. If you want to win, you always have to work until the belt goes.
This was a tough fighter. It was a good fighter you boxed tonight. How did you beat him?
Yeah, he's very tough, but as I told you before, my style is a bit of awkward, and you never know where the punches come from. So that's how I beat him. He's a very good boxer, but I was the better boxer today.
What is the old adage in boxing? Power rules, but speed beats power. What were you thinking in this fight?
This is how I always box, you know. With my speed and rhythm, makes it hard for the boxer to catch me. That's why.
Well, it was very nice to see tonight. You have a little bit of cut underneath your left eye, but this was a good match for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How about that? Mexico City continues their onslaught. Alan, this kid gets a victory too. Kennedy Katende. He's a good-looking young man.
Okay, as we heard from the middleweight who won early tonight, Jurich, they didn't like the fact that LA went into their house and beat them 4-1. The only victory was a forfeit. They've come to Memphis tonight with a mission, and it doesn't get much better than winning every fight. So this thing has been closed up, but we'll see if the Memphis heavyweight Cam Thompson can save something tonight.